Hey guys, so here's another update. The last video I put up here was actually about 9 months ago, and it was on my last gaming PC, or at least how it stood at that point. So 9 months later, there's been a fair few changes. A couple of the parts from that build are still in this one, but basically it's been pretty much an entire refresh. I said in the last video I felt like I might need to build another PC, so that thought got the better of me, and here we are. So this is the result. So what I'll do is I'll go through each of the parts, just give a little bit of detail and an overview of them, and then I'm looking forward to seeing you guys' feedback or comments. Let me know what you think. So basically, we'll start off with the tower. So the case, actually I might start off by telling you that the lighting in here is super average. So, and I'm only using my Galaxy phone to record it, so apologies up front for that. Basically, the case is a Corsair 750D. If you watched the last video, which actually mightn't be a bad idea, if you haven't seen that, you can see before and after that way. The last case was a 650D. It's a 750D, generally the same sort of look, very clean cut, big window, not too showy, just clean, all aluminium front, so it looks really nice. You might notice there's no CD drive in there. That's because I really don't use one. I've got an external one, which I'll just plug in, USB one if I need to, but I think I've used that once in the last 3 months, so I'm getting by fine with that one. Also, this case is very wide. It's much wider than a standard CD drive, so if you put one in fact it looks really stupid. So I decided to not wreck the look of the case for something that I rarely use, so that's why I haven't got one in there. In the front, this just pops off. There's a couple of what are they, Corsair Airflow 140mm fans, just with the white rings. They're the fans with the changeable rings. Put red, white and blue. I thought white would look better with this build. Sound as though I've actually gone all black and white. The last one I did was sort of blue and black. So I've got away with that. I've got away from that and just gone just straight black and white. I'll take the side off. It's just got a big window. No handles like the other one had. It just slides back. So I'll take that off now and we can have a look inside. Basically, the major additions since the last video is the fact that it's a full custom water loop, which I did myself, and it was actually the first one I'd done, so it was pretty scary. But no dramas, went through alright. I used all good quality parts, so I'm sure that helped. Maybe there was a bit of beginner's luck, I don't know. So anyway, we'll start working around. Basically, the CPU in this is the same as I had in my last one. It's an i7 3770K. I think that's clocked now at 4.8 gigahertz. So basically goes from there. That's not the starter loop obviously, but that's probably the easiest way to work around so I don't forget any parts. The RAM is, I'm not sure if it was the same RAM I had last time. G-Skill Ripjaws. The Z model, 2133 megahertz. There's 16 gig there. Follow the loop around. That's the reservoir, so technically that's where it starts. So it's a top-fed reservoir, and then the pump there. All the water blocks in the system are EK blocks, EK Supremacy. I like them because they look nice, and also they're probably the best stuff you can get. So I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, I'll do it properly, and I'll do it well. So that's what I used. So basically the loop goes into the pump. It feeds into a radiator at the front, which is behind those two fans I showed you. That's 280mm, but it's 60mm thick, so it's a nice big thick rad in the front that goes from there past a quick disconnect, which I use to drain the loop, a no spill quick disconnect, which is handy. I thought that was the perfect place to put it. That pipe or that tubing run was a bit long and looked funny, so I put a drain option there. So basically they just clip apart, and then you drain the water out with another set of those, which you then plug into the disconnected ends, if that makes sense. Basically then it goes up into the graphics cards. So the graphics cards are the NVIDIA GTX 780, the Asus DirectCU2 versions with backplates. I put backplates on there just to keep with the, I guess, the real clean theme of the build. There's a few different options for water cooling, like the breeches. I like that because they're nice and chunky, sort of match the rest of the build. I've seen people use just other lengths of tubing, but I like the way that looked. So it goes through the bottom one, out into the top one, then out up to the top radiator, which is a 360mm radiator. More of those Corsair fans on there. Gets cooled by them, and basically it comes back into the CPU, and then around it goes. So the motherboard, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, the motherboard's exactly the same as the one I had in my last build. Asus Sabertooth Z77. I like that because it has a full cover. At the time it was the only one that had that full cover. There's a lot of boards now which have these cover plates which cover the main board, so it looks more, I guess, aesthetically pleasing. All the fans are all matching in here. They're not running at a very high speed because the water loop itself is actually cooling. So that's probably, the hard drives. There's a Samsung 840 Pro 256 gig up in there, which is the operating system drive, and got some games on it too. Then there's a regular hard drive up in here, which is just for storage, videos and all that sort of stuff. Basically, that's probably it for the tower, apart from the lighting. The lighting, again, is just white LEDs. There's a strip along the bottom, a strip along the top. That spreads the light nice and even. They're the Bitfenix Alchemy ones. Now, I did skip the power supply. It's a Corsair AX1200i Platinum rated power supply, and I swapped out the regular cables for a black cable kit that you have to buy separate. But again, the way that looks with the black cables, I thought it was worth it. It really makes it, really neat and look really nice and real well finished. That's probably it for the tower. The mouse, I've got a Roccat Kony XTD. That's the same one as I had last time. Nice mouse. I've tried a lot and I can't find anything that I like better, so I stuck with that. It's hard. I've got a hard mouse pad, Corsair MM400 I think it is. Just a hard pad. There's a Xbox controller there for when I play like racing games or whatever. That's obviously a lot better than the keyboard. So I had that last time as well. Keyboard's different. Keyboard, that's a Ducky Shine 3. It's still a mechanical keyboard, but it's got cherry browns, which feel nicer to type on, and I prefer than the, I think it was a Razer Black Widow Ultimate, which I had last time. So, it has some fancy lighting effects. I've just gone that one because I think it looks really cool, but basically, you can just put it back to regular. It does a lot of different things, but they're blue LEDs as well. I'll get to the screen last because there's some things I want to talk about with that. The sound, in my last one I had actually had a sound card, an amplifier. I still use headphones, but I went with the external USB DAC there, Audio Engine D1, which then runs some Denon AHD 600 headphones, super nice headphones. And that headphone stand, actually, I don't know if people are looking for one, I got that off eBay for a few bucks delivered. From Japan or something silly, so that might be worth looking into if you need a headphone stand. The screen, last one I had was a Samsung 120Hz 1080p monitor, so I got rid of that, and this is it's actually a 2560 by 1440 monitor, and my camera's struggling to focus. Basically, it's a Kunix brand, which you may or may not have heard of in the gaming forums and gaming realms. Basically, these are really, really well known because they're very cheap, but the panel is a very expensive panel. The actual panel itself is a Samsung panel, which is 2560 by 1440, and actually overclocks, so it can go from 60 Hz or 60 frames per second, its max display, up to 96 or even 120 if you're lucky. So that way you get the best of both worlds. You get 120 frames at the ultra resolution, so that's nice. I'm lucky I got one that does go up to 120 frames without any frame skipping. I got it off eBay. I think it was Greensum. I'll put a link in the description who I bought it from, but it was I got it for, I think it was $300 Australian delivered, and it got from Korea to my front door in 3 days. Perfect panel, no dramas, no dead pixels, anything like that. So if you're a gamer and you've got $300 to spend, providing you've got enough juice to run it, this is probably my #1 suggested upgrade. Amazing screen. I've just got it off at the moment because I've got a white background and it will wash out the video. I'll turn it on now just to lead into my next thing, but basically, if you're looking for an upgrade your screen to one of these. You won't go wrong. It's amazing. So basically, that's my build. That's what I'm running with at the moment. The reason I wanted to put up another build was because I thought it was probably about time. There's a lot of changes taking place with this and the last one, but also to mention that since that point I started a little business called Elite Built PCs, which I build custom PCs for businesses or home users, gamers, all sorts of things. If you've stuck around this long, thanks. And I've actually got a Facebook page for this, which I'll put in the description as well. So if you could flick on over there and give me a like, that would be amazing. There's also some other builds on there which I'll put up, so feel free to have a bit of a look through there. That would be really, really appreciated. So thanks heaps, guys, for sticking out this video. It's nearly 12 minutes long. If you've got any questions or feedback about the build or about what I used or didn't use, I actually think I missed the actual fittings. The fittings are Bits Power Black Sparkle fittings, compression fittings, and Alpha Cool tubing, and also the sorry to jump back like this, but I knew I'd forget something. The water is distilled water, and that's it. So if you've got any questions or comments or feedback or anything like that, post it in the comment section below. That would be excellent. Thanks so much. Cheers, guys. Bye.